Well, you know I want to dig deeper, so let's speak to Misty Marris, a defense and trial attorney in New York. Misty, thanks for being up early for me. How you doing?
Yes, good morning. Very good. Thank you and happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. So much happened yesterday. Let's start with a big one. One of the rulings significantly limits judges' abilities to block Trump administration policies. Legally, how big of a shift is that?
This is actually a huge shift in the legal landscape. And of course, it affects Donald Trump and gives the executive branch generally more power. But it's not just Trump, it will be for any president to come. So it's important to understand what this decision is about. It's about what's called nationwide injunctions, meaning in this case, an executive order was challenged in federal court. The parties went and sought a stay, meaning put a pause on the implementation of that executive order in a court, and the court said, yes, it can be paused. Well, it won't just be paused in that federal district. It was paused nationwide. Now what the courts have said is that those nationwide injunctions are not proper, and they can only happen in a very limited, narrow set of exceptions and circumstances. So that means that if an executive order is implemented, that the courts have to act only with the parties that are part of the particular action, as opposed to protections being enforced nationwide. So let me just give you an example with Birthright. It could mean, and it's not implemented yet, and Birthright citizenship has not been decided, that a baby that's born in Georgia could have completely different rights than a baby that's born in New York. So that's why the nationwide injunction issue is such a big one when it comes to the implementation of these executive orders and its impact on individuals who are affected.
See, I want to dig into all of that in a bit as well, so we're going to definitely jump into it. But I was seeing online that critics are calling this a green light for unchecked presidential authority. And it's as if the President Trump can just get away with whatever he wants now. Do you agree with that, or are there still enough legal guardrails in place?
Well, it definitely expands the executive power significantly. So in general, the courts are in place to, when there's challenges to any executive order or presidential act, the federal courts are the place to go. But now, since there's no ability to pause those executive orders on a nationwide basis, it means that they will go basically into effect without the legal challenge actually playing out. So most certainly, it is a green light to a certain extent to Donald Trump and any president that comes after. But more so, it is just a really big shift in what are the separation of powers, meaning the executive branch now has a lot more ability to implement executive orders without a lot of judicial review.
You touched on it earlier, but I want to talk about birthright citizenships because seems like a big deal. What are the legal implications with what happened yesterday, and what might change later this year?
So as of now, birthright citizenship, the actual substantive issue has not been decided. Whether Trump's executive order on birthright to end birthright citizenship can actually go into effect is another issue for the Supreme Court. The question is, can it go into effect while that issue is pending in the legal process? As of now, this decision yesterday puts a pause on everything for 30 days because the administration actually hasn't provided any regulations. For instance, if a baby is born, if a pregnant mother goes to a hospital, does she have to bring all of her documentation relating to citizenship with her? What happens if a baby is born and the parents are not citizens? So there's a lot of questions that would need to be answered. In the meantime, Ben, and this is really important, federal courts and the parties to these lawsuits trying to stop the end of birthright citizenship for the individuals who are impacted are scrambling. They're filing what's called class actions, which requires 3 legal filings to even be in place. That's in order to stop them from, after that 30-day window, being potentially subject to that executive order. So there's a lot of legal wrangling going on behind the scenes. At some point, the birthright citizenship substantive issue, the actual issue of whether Trump can end it, will be decided. But that is yet to come.
There is so much going on, but you just broke it down so
So
well for
much.
us. We appreciate it. Misty Marris, I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you.